Hey folks, it's TupperTroy, and tonight I'm going to bring you a new recipe that I tried recently, which took me back to my childhood. And we grew up, and my gran used to make this product, and then my mum made it for a while, and I think my great-grandmother actually even made it before her, and that is a lemon butter. Now, I found this recipe because traditionally, you know, you had to spend ages on the stove doing all sorts of stuff with this, but I've actually found a great microwave recipe for it. And so tonight I'm going to show you this great microwave recipe. And so we're going to be using our MicroCook Pitcher, which very excited to say this has come back into stock recently. So we'll be using that as we go. I've pre-prepped a few of the ingredients, so I've already squeezed some of the lemons. And in actual fact, tonight I'm doing a lemon lime butter. So I've got one lemon and a couple of limes in there, mainly because I've got, my lime tree has just given me a whole heap of fruit. So I need to use some limes. So this is the perfect way to do that. So let's dive in and make this for us. Now, to start with, what we're going to do is combine. And so let's get our scales out. So we've got our electric scales. We're going to drop this here because we've got to combine our butter and our sugar. So we press tear on there so that will zero this out. And first things first, we'll grab our butter. Now, I'll use this here. Now, hopefully, I looked at this and I thought it's roughly right. So I'm just going to grab this out. This is one of the Tupperware butter dishes from a while back because it's in blue. I actually do have a couple of the white versions of this for anyone who's actually after one at the moment in stock. So, of course, if you're watching this video in 6 months' time, probably don't have them then. So let's just see. So we're actually almost there actually. So I'm just going to drop this down. Okay. Seriously, I actually didn't pre-measure this, and I was worried I was going to have to get a little bit more butter out, and I did not. How good is that? That is literally good there. So that's perfect. So we've got our 125 grams of butter in there, and we're going to drop in our cup of sugar. Now our sugar, it's a cup of caster sugar. Now we keep our sugar in our modular mates, and this particular one has our pour all seal on it. So it'll make it really easy for us to get that out. So, measuring cups. Now I've got the older clear style of these. These come nowadays, of course, they come in a nice blue colour when we're looking at all of those products. So, yeah. We often say you can always tell how old you are because of the colour of your Tupperware. So, for those of you who have orange measuring cups, I used to have orange. They won't mind, they were my mum's, so. But now, handed them on to somebody else. So we mixed that in there. So a cup of our sugar has gone in there, and quite literally, so we combine those in there. I'm just going to give that a bit of a mix through, but just to make sure it's all combined a little bit there. And I'm just going to drop that in the microwave on high for 2 minutes. So we can do that now. While that's happening, what we need to do is to start to look at a couple of other things here. So I've got my eggs. So 4 eggs. There we go. Now we need to give these a bit of a whisk up. So I'm just going to whisk these up. Now, I'm using our micro pitcher set here because it just allows me to fit pretty much most of what I need to in here. Sorry, microwave jug set. So it comes in 2 jugs. So just a light whisk we need to do on these, and then we just add in our juice. Now, it tells us in this recipe that, that we need some grated rind, and so I grated the rind off the side using our handheld jobby there. And so we just want to lightly whisk this in here. I'm using the whisk from our range as well here. Now the great thing about this is that this is such a simple recipe, because when we go to drop that in, that's got all of our juice there. So it ended up being probably close to just over 2/3 of a cup. They say 2/3 of a cup here. I went a little bit over. Now this will make about two 300 ml bottles, give or take, once we're done. So just a light whisk. This is one of the greatest whisks, and it's so good, particularly if you've got any stick cookware, because obviously being plastic, it's not going to then scratch any of those surfaces. So that's great from there. Okay, so I'll put this out of the road and grab this out of here. And this is, well, this has got very hot very quickly. We actually need that back again. So I just need to whisk this in as we go here. Now you see, this is actually a really quick and easy recipe. It doesn't take long. In the background, I'm actually sterilising some bottles. Now, if I was only making a small enough batch that we might only use in a day or two, I probably would have stored this in my Clearmates. In this particular case, I'm making a little bit more because I want to give some away to some people. So, and I know some of you are putting your hand up already for this now. I'm just doing a quick whisk on this. Now, as we go through this, I need to start to whisk our egg mixture into this. Now, we slowly add this in here. The problem is if we add it too quickly, basically we end up with really sweet scrambled eggs. So we only want to whisk it a little bit at a time as we go. A little bit of egg mixture in at a time as we go, so that therefore it blends really well. Just going to hold the jug for a second. Now, I do have to say, it does mean that you do get a bit of an arm workout with this one. So, for those of you who don't want to go to the gym but really want to taste some nice, sweet and tarty type goodness, this is actually quite perfect. I'm just adding a little bit more in here. You can actually tell that I can tell just by the feel of the jug that it's got a little bit cooler there, which is good. Now I will be dropping, I've got to create this recipe on to put online. I found it just on one of the butter websites actually. I played around with a few different concepts there. So we've got that off to the side. So I'm just going to whisk this up for a second. Okay, now that we've got it to there, as you'll see here, it's looking quite nice there. So I'm just going to put that over to the side. We're going to come back because what we do need to do is we cook this in a couple of different batches. So we do it in 1 minute intervals here. So drop it in for 1 minute, and then we'll be able to then bring it out and whisk it again. And we do that 4 times. So you'll see, I'll do some time lapse on this so that you can just see what it's looking like at each stage. Okay, so taking it out, so now I need to give it a quick beat, so whisk it up, just to bring some fluff into it. Now it's starting to get fluffier on top, so which is really cool. So just give it a good, like 30-40 second whisk. and drop it back in again. Okay, so next one. So grab our whisk out again. Now this is starting to get thicker and thicker as we go through. I can start to see the thickness as it's coming into this. By the time we get to our fourth go, it's normally very thick. Now I have probably put a little bit more lemon and lime juice in than I did last time, so I'm hoping it still holds its consistency that we need it to. I am just going to do the tricky little thing because I want to... We've got the right flavour, so that's a good thing. So, back in. So here we go for our third go at whisking. It's definitely got a lot thicker here. I can see the thickness that's there. It's going to be a little bit harder to beat this when it gets to the third one. You can start to see as you're going through it starts to... we're starting to see it stay on the top there after we're doing this. So looking forward to the next one as the last one. These jugs are fantastic, and just as a point, they do come with a lid. We don't use the lid in this particular recipe. It says to actually leave it open. But if we were using the lid, one of the great things about this is that it's actually got two different settings on it for the lid, so that you can have one where the air actually gets out, or one where it's actually locked in. So that's always really good for when you're microwaving things like noodles and that sort of stuff. I use this a lot when we're doing things like chocolates, so melting chocolate. Those of you who've seen the Toblerone cake know we make the Toblerone ganache in this particular jug. It's such a great jug for that. Okay. Awesome. You're seeing quite a lot still sticking onto the whisk now. So that's showing how thick this is getting. Last set for a minute. Okay, so this is our last one. So, oh yeah, you can tell this is definitely cooked really well. It's really nice and thick. It's well aerated in here. So I'll just give it like that one last go. And then I'm just going to put it to the side because I need to bring over the bottles so that we can pour it in there. Now, I've been sterilising the bottles off to the side in our saucepans, so I'll just put that there while I grab this. So this is boiling away on the inside here. Turn the stove off. Now, one of the great things about our saucepans is, of course, they've got the cool touch handles. So as hot as that is, you can actually see how hot that is. It's just come off boiling. This is fantastic. Now, clearly can't touch them, so I'm going to use the tongs to get these out and pour the water out as it goes. Make sure that all that water's out. Now the lids are in there as well. The tongs, on the other hand, are not cool touch. And when they get the hot water, that was hot. Okay, so I'll move this back here, and we can start to bring this a little closer, make it easy. We can start to pour in look how this is so good. All the way up there. These ones are 300ml bottles that I've got there. I'm just going to grab, I can tell that there's a little bit left there, and never going to let that go to waste. So drop that into, as I said, I probably could have got smaller clear, mate. I'll be honest, this will be eaten tonight because this looks absolutely amazing. I love this this particular spatula because it allows me to actually get absolutely everything, and when you've got something as yummy as this, you want to make sure you're getting it all out. You don't want to miss a single little bit. One of the great things about the spatula is that it has a remover, like if you only needed something to, if you wanted to cut a cake or something like that, and it's got one of the plastic bottoms, you can actually take the top piece off. But as you can see, we've got pretty much everything out of that jug there. Oh my God. That's absolutely amazing. I love this stuff. So I'll be dropping the lids on those, putting those away. But if you check out below, I'll drop the recipe there for you afterwards so that you can all do it. I'd love to see some of the creations that you guys are making yourselves as well. So please let me know. Send through the messages to TupperTroy. If you're looking for any products, feel free to place an order at TupperTroyOrder.com. Or if you want to follow other recipes, if you want to check out other really cool stuff, as well as clearly the specials that we have, go to TupperTroy.com. Thanks so much, everyone. Look forward to catching up with you again next time. Have a great one. I'm going to go off and enjoy some lemon butter now. Take care.